Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And we are back. Oh my gosh, we had a cast of thousands here a minute ago, and now it's myself and Ashton Martini.
Well, I'm right here.
Okay,
you didn't see me run in?
The room emptied out. Real excited. We have Ashton Martini, who is with Sotheby's, Martha Turner Properties. I hope I said that correctly.
Martha Turner Sotheby's International Realty.
hey, now, that's the short version, huh?
And we actually attempted to get Ashton on previously because he is also part of that 20 under 40 with the
20 under 40, that is correct.
Group, and a top producer and just a heck of a nice guy. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, we're ecstatic to have you. So what I want to talk about a little bit and start off with, and we didn't really give Lovett a chance to do, because I always love to hear about people, how they got into the business and how their career started, and how'd you end up here?
And don't forget your passion, because I really want to get your passion out there, because that's something that we always want to promote.
Drive everybody we bring on
Yes.
is a passion for what they do.
Well, I started about 13 years ago. My mother is a real estate agent in Galveston for over 40 years, so I think it was in my blood.
Yes.
I grew up, my parents had restaurants, so I tried that for a year and realized that I'm not a restaurateur. So I
concur with you. I'm right there with you.
And so I've been doing it for 13 years, mostly inner loop. Been with Martha Turner Sotheby's for 3 years now. I enjoy the aspect of new construction, working with builders and buyers as well. It's something I love to do.
Right.
Well,
and one of the things you mentioned right there is it's a passion for you. One of the things you cannot ever underestimate is a passion when you have for something. You discovered really early on there was a career path that you didn't like, and I know what that's like, by the way. So you got into something that you've been very successful at, and more importantly, you're with a great company, and you're a successful producer out there. I mean, being elected, obviously one of the top 20 under 40, is a big deal here in Houston, considering how big our market is.
Yeah, and it didn't used to be hard to do. All you had to be is under 40,
right.
and now you actually have to have some accomplishments behind you to be able to receive that distinction. So
that is correct.
Congratulations once again on that.
Thank you.
And and today's actually a luxury home. We just got through following obviously Lovett and In-Town Homes. You do a lot of business inside the loop.
Right.
What can you add to maybe some of the things that they were talking about? I mean, people are buying into communities or buying lifestyles, but you're seeing a lot of people coming in and buying in that inner loop.
Right. And I think that no matter the price range, people want luxury, whether it's $200,000-$300,000 or $2-3 million. Everybody knows what they want, and that's luxury. They want the walkability. They want to be around the restaurants, but they also want to get in their house and feel good about it and feel like, wow, we spent this much money. This house is amazing.
Especially people are transferring in from other markets. People that come from California are just astounded.
Yes,
right.
They are.
It's like, I'm getting this for this. It's like, they've just sold their $2 million, 1,600 square foot bungalow in La Jolla, and they've got change left over. And
let's not go too far from California. Europe comes over here and is astonished with what you can get for the same price.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, do you end up with? I know with Sotheby's, you're going to start seeing more relo come through your office. Now, are you working any relocation type of clients?
Right. We do work with relo. Even before Sotheby's, we had a huge relocation department. Exxon coming in is keeping us really busy in the Woodlands as well as Inner Loop, Energy Corridor area. So the people coming in have a higher expectation of what they're going to get because they're coming from markets that have all the amenities, dense living, walkability, high-end homes.
It's hard to explain that Houston is really a big suburban city.
Right.
And we're trying to, and some of our areas are starting to create the very urbane type of lifestyles. But, it's taken long. I remember downtown, the only time you went down there was you were going to the opera.
Right.
Or a venue of something of that for entertainment. But you went back home.
Well, I think
afterwards.
Well, I think we're the only city who had a freeway in I-10 that was 10 lanes and it was packed up, and so we tried to make it 20 lanes and it's packed up.
Right.
And it's still packed up. So that brings out a point. Sorry, Chris, I wanted to ask Ashton, with the folks going out to the Woodlands area, do you see some of them wanting to be in the city and then driving out there because they want that city lifestyle?
Yes, there's a lot of people. I think the Heights is becoming the focus of those people that want to have the city lifestyle. I think it's going to be better to commute to the Woodlands. You're going against traffic, but they still want to have their life inner city, near downtown, near the Gallerias, where they can actually live.
That's a great point, because a lot of folks now, they want to have their lifestyles at the same time, and the Woodlands is absolutely gorgeous, but the commute, if they did want to come in town to go party, play, and have fun, go to the opera, as Rob just said, they would have to drive all the way in with all the traffic.
Right, exactly.
So that's a great point. I was just kind of curious if they were still interested in that.
You know, and as you mentioned right there, one of the things is, as you said, going against traffic. You know, one of the things that I've seen a lot is individuals are still buying lifestyle. So they might work in the Woodlands, but their lifestyle is inner loop. Their lifestyle is, guess what? I like to do whatever it is in downtown, or I like the walkability, or I like to be next to the Galleria, et cetera, et cetera. You know, and let's describe a little bit about the inner loop, because people have this whole thing about what is the inner loop.
What is the inner loop? Absolutely.
You know, and so Ashton, let us know a little bit what is considered right now inner loop within Houston.
Well, I think most buyers are looking in, inner loop would be not by the Gallery, by Highland Village, near downtown, the Heights, Montrose, Upper Kirby area, West University. So there's pretty much a niche, and there's so many different neighborhoods inside of that area that they can have different lifestyles only minutes away from each other. So you're in West University, you have the Village, you can get down to the medical center. You have the Heights, where you can get into downtown, the Heights is like a small town on its own.
Oh, yeah.
With all of its own amenities and restaurants. It's very cool. So there's so many diverse areas that you can get pretty much what you want anywhere inside the loop.
And, and the reason I was asking is because a lot of times, people consider inner loop because there's two different loops really in Houston. About to be a third loop in Houston, right?
That's right. We just
so
keep looping.
the inner loop now sort of becomes changing. And so what I've always considered that inner loop, as you mentioned. It's really the 610 inwards all throughout that area, all the way around to the medical center, all the way on the backside right there. But sometimes you mention that, people say, "Oh, so it's Beltway 8 on the inside." It's like, well, that's actually really considered more the outer loop, the new inner loop.
Well, I talked to, I think it was maybe Ed Emmett, or county judge, that basically Gessner is the center of Houston now.
Gessner and I-10.
It just keeps on expanding somewhat, but they're building such that it doesn't seem that it's expanding because we're populating it with people. So now it's just, I guess, molding to the way it should be. And,
and as you're saying that, and Ash can probably speak to this as well, is there's a lot of also not only development in homes and subdivisions, but a lot of also development in regards to businesses and changes that are moving back into that area, correct?
Correct. Restaurants, little boutique clothing stores, everything. Everything is booming inside the loop.
Wow.
It is.
Yep.
Of course, that makes it very walkable, too. Because one thing I always like to do, if I can walk to a restaurant rather than get in a car and go, that is so nice to be able to do that.
I was meeting a client, believe it or not. It was on Friday. That is correct. Or Thursday or Friday. And I got in my car, drove one block, got out. Beautiful day, obviously, on Friday. And I sat there, and when I did that, I was like, I can't believe I didn't walk down here. Because we're so used to getting in our car and driving anywhere. And literally, I drove right out on the feeder road of I-10. And you know where my office is, so I was going to Papados. I could have walked there literally in like 5 minutes, but that's one of the things that you forget about is walkability. And that's one of the things you really see on the inner loop crowd. I mean, it's nothing to be able to get out of your home and see your family and walk down to Rice Village, or walk down, as you mentioned, to Highland area, or walk within the Heights. You've got all these different activities that are going on. That's the new lifestyle people are looking for, right?
And especially the people that are coming from the suburbs that don't have that now. Right. We have the empty nesters that are coming back, want a small house, small yard, and want to be able to walk and do things because they missed out on that while they were raising their kids.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I'll be that empty nester in like 10 years, and that's the first thing I told my wife is I'm moving back out from the suburbs.
And you are out in the burbs.
I am out in the burbs, I would agree.
So I'm going to ask you, when of course, I always do a counsel with buyers before taking them out, and, they either want to live close to where they work or close to where they play. Right. Are you finding they're mostly wanting to play there, or they're working close?
Yeah, I think the lifestyle, the personal life, the activities is actually driving their location, not as much as work anymore.
Yeah, I'm seeing that because I actually had to get somebody one time who claimed there was no life outside the loop. I actually got her a get out of the loop card, and I had it laminated. It was so funny. But there does seem to be a cohesiveness now for people who will live inside the loop. They don't want to do stuff outside the loop.
Right.
They get home and go, I'm staying here and I'm not going anywhere else. Exactly. All my venues here, my restaurants are there, stuff. So, and we talk a lot about lifestyle. When they're buying a luxury home, what kind of a specific amenities are they looking for beyond the walking scores and things like that? What are they looking for in the house?
I think in the luxury realm, people like technology or the ability to add on technology to the home, eventually do smart homes. appliances, higher-end appliances, higher-end finishes, high ceilings, 12, 14-foot, open floor plans, just something that feels grand. So it can be a small house with high ceilings and all those amenities, or a really large house, but you still have that same grand feel when you get in there.
Exactly.
And I would agree. I would say, one of the things we're seeing, the new design and architecture really shows that, whether it be a courtyard home, whether it be an in-town home that builds up 3 stories, whether it be on the suburbs. And you're seeing that openness that people are looking for. And I like what you pointed out at the very beginning. Luxury, no matter what price level, is luxury.
Right.
We only got 2 minutes to go on here, and Ashton, one of the things I wanted you to talk about, and this is off the subject of real estate, but you have a big passion for the MS-150, don't you?
Yes, I founded a MS-150 team 2 years ago. This is our second year to ride. So I'm the team captain. We're riding in 3 weeks from today, actually. 3 weeks from today,
right,
okay. From here to Austin, we have almost 50 members, and our goal is to raise $100,000 for MS.
Raise $100,000. What can if our listeners are out there and they want to support this endeavor of yours, how would they be able to support that?
They can email me at amartini@marthaturner.com, and we can give them the information.
And that's a great last name, because everyone likes a good martini, right?
Well, how do we get a hold of you, Ashton?
My cell phone number is 832-878-7686, or you can go to ashtonmartini.com. All my information is there.
And what got you into the MS-150? What was that passion that drove you to really start developing
I really
this
wanted
team?
to get involved and give back. I think I'm very blessed, and it's a great organization, and so many people do it. It's always intrigued me, and I never thought I could ride my bike to Austin, or even around the block.
I'm still trying to get around the block. Yeah.
I bought my bike to ride the MS-150, so I was not a cyclist.
Okay.
But it's an amazing organization. I think about 15,000 people are riding this year. We're going to raise $18 million. So it's amazing to be part of something so large.
That is amazing.
More and
and
people
it's
doing it.
that is correct. And to be able to give back to the community, as you mentioned, I think we are blessed to be in real estate. We are blessed to be in Houston. All of us are blessed also to be in good health. And so it's important to give back. I tell everybody, the more you give, the more you receive.
That's right.
We're very big into doing that, not only on the Real Estate Rat Pack, but we bring a lot of people on. And we always like to promote and highlight that, so I appreciate you for putting it out there. If you want to definitely get out there and help Ashton and his team on the MS-150, definitely do so. amartini@marthaturner.com. Anyways, you can always reach Ashton out there. One more time, what's that phone number of yours?
832-878-7686.
Give him a call. Great individual. Again, we are up against time on this segment.
You got to pay for the show.
I know, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Fancy gloves, though, where's old Maggie Heath?